debate on its bill to end greyhound racing just as a final vote was expected on it tonight. The Premier says it's to give upper house members more information, but that has been rubbished by independents. The delay leaving racing participants and animal welfare groups in limbo.
It was widely expected to be the day of a historic vote to end greyhound racing, but at the last minute,
the government has withdrawn the bill from the order of the day.
The government deferred the debate until next month, leaving industry participants in a world of pain and uncertainty.
I think a lot of them are, reaching breaking point.
Who feel as though they've been used as a political pawn by the Premier.
We don't want to be caught up in these political games and used as a bargaining chip for the Premier's job.
Some animal welfare organisations also devastated by the delay for different reasons. They want the practice to stop.
We've been campaigning for a long time to get reform in the greyhound racing industry based on what we see within the industry. So from our point of view, it's a little bit disappointing.
Fearing the longer greyhound racing carries on, the more dogs will be harmed and need shelter.
There's only limited shelter capacity in Tasmania, and so the longer this delay goes on, the more challenge there's going to be towards the 30 June 2029 deadline.
Independents hopeful of settling the debate, unleashing fury at the Liberals.
It's been really disrespectful, not just to the chamber, but also to the community.
And I think the government needs to take a good hard look at itself.
Scathing of how the whole process with the legislation has been handled.
The process has been a shambolic, to put it in one word.
I recognise the challenge that the Legislative Council has with respect to their deliberations as well, which is why it's important that they are given the time to consider and ensure that... Well, you could laugh if you like, but we care about animal welfare, mate. We care about animal welfare.
Order!
We care about keeping and it's time. It is time. The Labor Party knows it.
While other politicians in favour of the phase-out remain optimistic it will pass.
We will be here until the day that greyhound racing is banned in Tasmania, doing whatever we can to make that happen.
One of the big questions from here will be just how this will end up playing out for the government. Now, several upper house members are furious at not only the delay, but how the government has handled the proposed phase-out. A number of independents remain critical of the Premier for expressing support for the industry during last year's election campaign, only to break his election promise, along with the lack of consultation that has happened with participants, among other issues. 2 Legislative Council elections in Huon and Roseville could also end up playing out as election issues in those electorates and potentially change the numbers the government needs to pass the bill. Now, the legislation is expected to come up again when the upper house sits from May 19 onwards, only prolonging the anxious wait for not only animal welfare groups but industry participants as well. Kim?
It does. Thank you, Anthony there. Anthony Dodd live there from Parliament House. Well, the future of Liberty Bell Bay is now more uncertain than ever.